Good morning, friends. Julie Cross here. Happy 2018. The new year begins. So I'm giving my sparkles a run this morning, getting ready for being on stage tomorrow for the first time this year. So I'm looking forward to that. So I just wanted to pop in and say Happy New Year and see where you're at for this year and what your focus may be. I don't set a lot of specific goals as such. I more have a vision, I guess, about what I want to achieve and how I want to feel at the end of a year, and how I want to feel about myself physically, emotionally, spiritually, financially, and then that kind of guides me with how I move through the year. But one of the things that I do want to do this year is to go deeper, and when I say go deeper, I mean go deeper within myself, go deeper with my clients, go deeper into the messages that I share on stage, etc. So in lots of ways going deeper into my relationships, into the community. And so I started this year off with a hike, or a trek, as many as you would know, on the Great Ocean Road. Now, I got a lot of lessons from that trek, and I thought I'd share some of them with you. It's certainly about going deeper within, that's for sure. Deeper into Mother Nature, deeper into the Great Ocean Road, and with every physical challenge, there is an emotional challenge as well, and we grow from that, which is why one of the reasons I do these things. You know, and I'm not saying it was a Mount Kilimanjaro or it was a Kokoda, and I know there are some people who are fitter than me and do this regularly and probably would have found this one easy. But for me, it wasn't easy, it was challenging. And so some of the lessons that I learned is, first of all, around preparedness, about being prepared. Now, I'm fairly fit, I would say. I'm a fit person, but I don't trek regularly 20 kilometres on a weekend up a mountain. And so I go there semi-prepared. I didn't read too much before the trip about what was in front of us, and I think that actually was a benefit to me in the end, because I think that if I'd done that, I may not have gone. I may sort of said, it's too hard, I can't do it. And then when I got there, it meant that you were in it, you just had to do it. And I think that's with life as well, with some of the emotional challenges we get in life. We can only be as prepared as we can possibly be and think we can be. And I know that with grief, you know, I was very personally developed, I felt, when I went through that grief, but no one knows what it's going to be like until you're in it. And you just have to keep walking through it. And that was certainly the case with this hike when we were faced with some of these mountains, and I would look up and go, you know, how am I going to do that? This is ridiculous. What am I even here doing? But you just got to keep putting one foot in front of the other, because you walked in and you've got to keep walking out. And so it is with some of our emotional challenges that we have in life. We've got to walk through them. There's no avoiding them. There's no going around these mountains. There's no going through them. There's no helicopter coming for you. A car cannot get to you. You will walk up that mountain. Now, obviously, we were prepared for anything life-threatening, and we had water, and we knew we had an emergency phone if there was an emergency, etc. But just because the going gets tough sometimes doesn't mean you sit down. It means you keep going. And so there was certainly that. And at the start, on the end of the first day, I know I'm prone to blisters, so I did prepare by making sure my boots fit right. I taped my toes, I did all of that. But at the end of the first day, the blisters showed up. And so sometimes, no matter how prepared we are, we're still going to be in that situation. And you now know you've got 5 more days of walking and you've got blisters on your feet. So what are you going to do? You're going to have to muscle up through it. Now, I'm not saying that there weren't times I was sitting there thinking, why don't I just sit at home and get a big stick and beat myself over the head with it? Like, maybe that'd be more fun. So I'm not saying I didn't have moments like that, because I did. And what I did find about myself is that it was my sense of humour that got me through those moments as well. And so we make sure that we have our sense of humour is healthy, and that we use that. And that's what I certainly did. And I found that, and I'm glad that I've got that mechanism, that I get squeezed, and I tend to have this sense of humour that comes out through it, rather than sitting in and being depressed about it and whining about it. So I found that out about myself as well, and that was a coping mechanism for me. And then you realise too that you're going to get to the next peak. You will get to the next view, and it is worth the climb. And so as you look up at this next view, you think, you know, this next peak, how am I going to do that, for God's sake? But you're just going to hurt a little, and sometimes you're going to hurt a lot. But then when you get there, you're amazed at what you see in front of you, and you're amazed that you did it, and you feel so proud of yourself. So we can't avoid the hurt either. And this was another big lesson I got, because I had the blisters on my toes. What I, in the end, was doing was walking more on my heels to try and avoid the pain in my toes. But then I got a big mother of a blister on my heels. So the lesson there is you can't avoid your pain, because it's just going to show up somewhere else. And so we still have to walk through the pain, no matter how painful it is. And so that was a big lesson as well with regards to that physical and emotional connection. But I think the biggest thing out of this, and I've known this, how important our self-talk is, but to see the effect on my body so obviously was really quite profound, because when the last day came, particularly we had 17 kilometres still to do, you know, and you're looking at, suddenly we rise over this peak, you can see the 12 apostles in the distance, but you suddenly look at all the peaks you've got to go over to get way over there, and there's a moment that I think we all went, oh my God, we all kind of went, wow, look at that, that looks amazing too, oh my God, how are we going to get there? And then, so at that point, your self-talk's got to kick in, you know, because the minute I started thinking, I can't do this, my feet are sore, what am I going to do? How am I going to get out of here? Yes, it's got to stop that. Your body starts feeling fatigued, you're dragging your feet, so you change it. And the minute I changed it to, you do not stop. You get your ass up that friggin' hill like you know how to do, girl, because you are a machine. Do you hear me? You are a machine. You pump those little legs and you get up there, because that's what you do. You are strong. You are powerful. You have climbed bigger mountains than this. And this is all this going on in my head. You get up there. Women in Africa, they walk for miles with things on their head to feed their family, to go and get fresh water. You are stronger than this. We are stronger than we know. So you get up the hill, and those steps, I tell you what, it doesn't hurt to swear a little, I can tell you that, because I got to the bottom of some of those steps and I understand why Thomas swears, because they weren't just steps, they were motherfucking steps, and these steps weren't going to get me today. And I am getting you, and I'd get to the top of a hill and I'd turn around to my nieces and I'd be like, rah, righto, where's the next hill? I've got this. And then the last day I'm like, you pay a lot of money to go to Anthony Robbins to walk on coals for 5 minutes. I've been walking on coals for 17 kilometres because my feet are on fire. Look what I can do. And so that self-talk, and I could literally, as soon as my talk changed, I could feel my body get stronger. I could feel myself stand up and take it on. You know, so let us never underestimate the power of that self-talk and how important that is in getting you through those tough times in life. And you know, the other thing I got from that is that I get that I deserve to talk to myself in a positive, uplifting way. And so do you. When you are going through the tough times, you deserve to be talked to in a powerful, supportive, encouraging way. So make sure you give yourself that. We don't wait for other people to do it. Everyone in the walk was dealing with their own stuff. You know, it's over to you to do that for you. So we don't wait for a leader to show up in our life, or a coach to show up, or somebody, a partner to show up to encourage us. It's nice if they do, but that's over to you to do that, because you deserve to do that for yourself. And so on the last day too, we knew we had one town that we would go through. We hadn't been through a town on the whole hike, but there was this one town, and they said that there'd be a coffee shop there in the guide, the map guide. There'd be a coffee shop there and a pub, and we were excited because it was halfway through to the last day, and we would then have 7 more k's to get to the 12 apostles. So we were that excited. So we got to this town and we walked into the town, and the whole town was shut. Like for one day on a Tuesday, this particular town was shut for the day, and we felt like we were this like live show on another planet, and it was like a reality show, and they said, shut the town, see how they react, shut the town. So that was a defining moment too, when we were so tired, and all we had was this vision of this beautiful cup of coffee in our head, because we've been drinking sachet coffee for 5 days. And it wasn't to be. So you got to keep walking. You just got to keep walking through the disappointments. But of course, the thrill and the victory when you get to the end and you're there, and that last 2 kilometres, or that last 500 metres, or that last 400 metres always feels like the whole walk again. But finally, you're there, and you just feel so empowered, and your feet are hurting, but you feel so great, and you're so glad that you did it, and you feel strong, you feel powerful, you feel energised. And once again, it's recognising the link between your emotional well-being and your physical well-being. And that's why I challenge myself physically as well, because the minute you do, you challenge yourself emotionally. So I certainly went deeper and in that session, and I went deeper with the people around me too, and the relationships that I had. So it was so worthwhile. It was a great way to start my year, and I hope that some of the lessons that I got can support you for your fantastic 2018. I'm looking forward to bringing a new show to you this year, and tour and a few other things, but I'll be back with more about that. Thanks everybody for dropping in. I can't see who you all are because I haven't got my glasses on, but I so appreciate you as always, and I'm looking forward to doing the year again with you all. So thank you.